Hello everyone and welcome back to CrochetObjet Knitting. If you are new here, my name is Mo. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to bind off using the basic bind off in knitting. This is the third part on my How to Knit for Beginners series. I will leave links for the first two parts down here in the description box for you. I'm still using the same ball of yarn, and as many of you ask, this is the Toft DK in colorway cream. I'm still using a pair of LYKEE needles in a 4mm size. Bind off is actually our way to take our project out of the needle when we finish knitting. Here you can see a sample of the basic bind off I made on the swatch from my previous video on a stockinette stitch. On today's video I'm going to be using a swatch I knitted in garter stitch where I knit back and forth. The basic bind off is actually pretty simple to do, and I will show it to you step by step. So first I'm going to show it using the English knitting style where I hold the yarn on my right hand, and I want to start by knitting the first two stitches. And after I knitted the first two stitches, I want to take my left hand needle to insert it just like so to the first stitch I knitted, and to take it up and over the second stitch on my needle, and then to drop it off the needle. And this is bind off. And the stitch I just dropped is actually down here. Let's repeat this again. In order to bind off, we have to have two stitches on the right hand needle. So I have to knit the second stitch, and then I'm taking my left hand needle, insert it to the first one on the needle, and take it up and over the stitch, the second stitch on the needle, and drop it off the left hand needle. And I want to keep it very loose. Once again, I knit the next stitch, insert my left hand needle, and take the stitch up and over the second stitch on the needle and drop it off the left hand needle. And here are my bind off stitches. So let's do it in the English knitting style for the few next stitches, and then I'll show you how to do it using the Continental knitting style. And if you keep it loose, if you keep your stitches loose, it's going to be very easy and simple to do. And in order to help myself going up and over and keep this stitch secure on my needle, I have to keep this yarn in the right tension and to take it a little bit backwards, so it won't let the stitch fall off the needle while the other stitch is going up and over it. Let's see how we do it using the Continental knitting style. So I hold the yarn on my left hand, and I do just the same actions as I did on the English knitting style, but the only difference is that the yarn comes from the left side. Knit the next stitch, take the left hand needle, and in order to secure this stitch, I can help myself with the right hand index finger. Take the stitch up and over and let it fall off the needle. Let's do it once again. Knit the next stitch, and again knit the next stitch, insert your left hand needle into the first stitch on the needle and take it up and over. With this finger, I'm holding it, and don't let the other stitch fall off the needle. This is the last stitch on the row. Take a pair of scissors, cut the yarn, and pull the loop upwards. And here is my bind off. I just completed my bind off. This is how it looks like when we finish, and you can see we created these V stitches, horizontal line at the edge of the work, and this is actually the basic bind off, and it's pretty simple. And now, together with the previous two videos, you have everything you need to know in order to start knitting. In the first video I showed you how to cast on and how to knit the knit stitch, and in the second video I showed you how to knit the purl stitch. And together with today's video, you know how to bind off and take the work out of the needle when you finish your project. And yes, these are all the basic stitches you have to know in order to start knitting. This is everything you need to know in order to pick up a pair of needles and a ball of yarn and to try knitting. And please leave me a comment and let me know if you have tried it and how was it for you, and if it was easy for you to follow. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.